Alright, number 4, here we go. Now I'm trying to get a variable by itself so I can do substitution. So I'm going to use this equation right here, negative x plus 4y equals negative 15. And there's several routes that you can take to get a variable by itself. You do what's easiest for you. Now for me, I'm like, well, it'd be easier if that was not a negative x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to add x. And then I need to add x to this side, because I have to keep it balanced. And so I'm left with 4y equals negative 15 plus x. And see, now it's a positive x, and that's what I'm looking for, because I want a variable by itself. So now I need to get rid of this negative 15, and then x will be by itself. So now I'm going to add 15, cross it out, and I have to add 15 to this side. Now my equation looks like this. 4y plus 15 equals x. See, x is by itself. Now this isn't the only route that you can take. There's several routes that you can take, but this is the one that seemed easiest to me. And if you're like, well, none of them seem easy to me, well, when you get more experience, they'll start getting easier and easier. So x equals all this stuff. So what I can do with all this stuff is I can sub it in for x. So I'm going to color code it. You can see what this equation looks like. I've got negative 2 parentheses, and in parentheses I'm going to sub in 4y plus 15. Let me close the parentheses. Minus 3y equals negative 8. And now what I can do is I can just do distributive property and solve, find out what y equals. So a negative 2 times a positive 4y is a negative 8y, and a negative 2 times a positive 15 is a negative 30. And then we have a negative 3y equals negative 8. So I just bring down the rest of it. And so now what I can do is I can combine like terms. I've got negative 8y and negative 3y. Whenever I combine those, I'm going to get a negative 11y minus 30 equals negative 8. I'm trying to get y by itself, so I need to get rid of this negative 30, so I'm going to add 30 to both sides. And I'm left with negative 11x equals a positive 22. And I'm going to divide this side by negative 11, because that's the opposite of multiplying a negative 11. I got to keep it balanced. Divide that side by negative 11 also. And I have x equals negative 2. And the reason it's a negative 2 is because when you divide a positive and a negative, you get a negative answer. So here we go. I know x equals 2. So now, what I can do is I can, and actually it's not x. Let's see. Let me fix that. Let's see. My x's kind of look like y's. This is, because my variable, that's a y, so this should be a y. My x's kind of look like y's. So here, let me fix that. Let me fix this. Here we go. Alright, so I know that y equals negative 2. There we go. See, my handwriting is so bad it even throws myself off. Alright, so y equals negative 2. So what I can do with this now is I can take that, y equals negative 2, and sub it in for y, and then see what x is. So what this equation is going to look like is 4 times, and I'm going to sub in negative 2 in for y in place of y. Let's see, blue. Plus 15 equals x. So now I'm just going to solve this out. I've got 4 times negative 2 is a negative 8. Don't forget your plus 15 equals x. A negative 8 and a positive 15, that's going to give you 7. So x equals 7. And that's pretty much it. That's your answer. X equals 7 and y equals negative 2. So if I was going to put this in a coordinate pair, I'd say x equals 7 and y equals negative 2. Just like that.